My name is Stephanie, and I'm with the counseling group that's been going around helping those who have been affected by the tornadoes that came through several weeks ago. We've been coming through trying to provide support to those who may need it, offering comfort or supplies or whatever you might need in this time of need. So I understand that you've been going through some difficult times since the tornado came through, and I just wanted to follow up and see how you've been doing these last couple of weeks since the tornado hit.
Well, thank God, because nobody else around here is doing anything. It's near impossible to get anybody out to do anything, period. And I'm pretty tired of it.
That sounds incredibly frustrating. I can't imagine how frustrating that would be, not getting the things that you need. How about your family? Do you have children or a spouse who's also dealing with this with you?
All three, as a matter of fact. My son wants absolutely nothing to do with me. I'm stressed out all the time. I can't get anybody to come do work on my house. My wife is very standoffish right now because I'm so frustrated and just aggravated at the world. I got a daughter that she's 3, so she's just scared out of her mind.
Yeah, I understand. That sounds incredibly difficult. So, tell me about your son. What's been going on with him that makes you feel like he's difficult to reach right now?
Well, me and him used to be best buddies. Tornado came in and we're not. It's frustrating being dad in the time of crisis, and he doesn't have me anymore. He has this man that's aggravated at the world. Can't get anybody to do anything. Always doing this. I'm stressed out. I don't go to his events. I don't do anything for him anymore because I'm trying to get this done to get us back to our normal routines.
That sounds really difficult. I'm really sorry that you're dealing with that. Have you tried talking to your son about what's going on?
Absolutely not. I've already pushed him away far enough, and I'm not going to push him away anymore. If I bring up what has already happened again, it's only going to escalate things, and I don't want to push him away. He's dying. It could only make things worse.
Yeah, I mean, I can totally see why you would think that talking to a child about something traumatic might make it worse. When you're talking about natural disasters, though, you might find that speaking to him kind of opens things up a little bit instead of it just being an elephant in the room and something that nobody wants to touch. Maybe if you talk to him about it, it won't be as scary and it won't be this far off distant thing. It will be something that he's comfortable talking to you about. And maybe he'll open up a little bit and maybe he won't be so standoffish.
Well, with you being positive like that, it probably wouldn't hurt to try.
Yeah, sometimes you got to come at things a different angle. If it's not working one way, then, there's always a different direction that you can approach it with. So that's good that you might possibly try speaking with your son to see how he feels about it, and maybe you guys can reconnect that way. So we've talked a little bit about your son, and I feel like you've got a plan to talk to him whenever you get home. How about you? How are you doing? Is there anything that I can assist with what you have going on?
No, not that I can think of. It's if you want to go round up some contractors, because they obviously aren't listening to me, and I'm done. I'm done. I'm done trying. I give everything I've got for nothing.
So you said that the contractors aren't trying and that nobody's trying. What do you mean when you say that the contractors aren't trying?
They won't get here. They won't return phone calls. The ones that have returned phone calls lie, say they're going to be here and they don't get here. It's day in, day out of me contacting, and getting false hope. I'm over it. I'm done.
That has got to be incredibly frustrating to think that you've got something lined out, that you've got it ready to go, and then it falls through.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no other way to describe it.
Well, I understand.
No, you don't understand. That's the problem. Is you're not sitting in my foot and my shoes. You're not walking in them. You don't know how I feel with My son doesn't like me. My daughter can't sleep. She's got nightmares. My wife, I feel like our marriage is going away at this point. So, no, you have absolutely no idea how I feel.
So let me word it this way. I hear you, and that must be incredibly difficult. So what you're saying is you've got all of this family that you're trying to deal with, and you're trying to keep your family together and keep them intact, and you've got a son who's standoffish, a wife who's standoffish because you're standoffish, and then you've got these contractors that are basically non-existent.
Absolutely. You hit the nail on the head.
So I've got a list of contractors that hasn't been released, that not everybody has access to, and maybe I could get you in touch with some of these contractors. There's also a support group. Would you be interested in a support group?
No, that's not me. My wife, maybe, not me.
Okay. So I can get you that list of contractors, and the good thing about the support group is that there are going to be other people there who are going through the same things as you. Like their houses have also been destroyed. I've gone out and I've seen several other clients, and they're all dealing with really similar issues. Contractors that aren't calling, but there have been several of them who have had good luck with some contractors. So in these support groups, you'll find that not only are these people dealing with the same things as you, but you might be able to network a little bit, and you might be able to find the names of contractors that return phone calls and actually come out and give bids like they're supposed to. So I can get you that list of resources of the different contractors that I have, and then that support group, they meet weekly up at the high school, and you may be able to get even more resources from that support group.
Well, honestly, at this rate, anything that I can do to benefit my family is what needs to happen, because what we've been doing is not working. So we've got to take a step in the right direction, because right now it's not going good.
I hear what you're saying. You say that what you've been doing hasn't been working, but let me just say that what you've been doing has been keeping you all safe, and has been keeping you all fed, and has been keeping you all healthy. So while it's super uncomfortable, and not to minimize that, you don't need to minimize the fact that you've still been taking care of your family. So I just want you to hear me when I say, you've been doing a good job taking care of them and taking care of your wife and taking care of your children. Because most men in your situation wouldn't be sitting here trying to come up with a plan. They'd keep bulldozing through, trying to figure it out on their own, and you're smart enough to kind of step back and say, okay, this isn't working. I can't get a hold of these contractors. I can't make these things happen. Here's another venue where I might find help and I might find some success. So I commend you on that.
Well, I appreciate that very much. But safe, fed, and healthy doesn't remedy my son being gone. It doesn't remedy my wife not wanting to be around me, or the nightmares that my little girl has constantly every time she hears of bad weather coming.
I understand those things must be incredibly difficult to deal with. With regards to your daughter and the fear of the weather, have you talked to her about that at all? I know you said she was 3 going on 4. Have you talked to her at all about that?
No, it's just one of those situations with a young kid that she's got it stuck in her head. I'm gonna be scared.
Yeah.
And even though Daddy's there to protect her, Daddy can't. Daddy didn't stop the tornado. If Dad can't stop the tornado, what can he stop?
Well, Daddy did keep her safe during the tornado. So you can remind her of that, and Daddy's hugs probably make a really big difference for her. There are apps, there are weather apps specifically for little kids. You could look that up on your phone, and maybe when you hear of weather coming, bad weather or rain, you and your daughter could spend time going through that app together. And maybe her knowing what weather is coming and it not being where it just suddenly starts raining and she wasn't expecting it, maybe that would help her kind of calm down a little bit to where she sees it coming and it's not as scary when it gets here. Maybe that's something that you could try.
That would be very beneficial.
Okay.
If whenever you give me those list of contractors and so on, you can give me that as well.
Yeah, I'll find which app that is because I've got a specific one in mind. Is there anything else that I can help you with? Any other concerns or questions that you might have?
If you got some suggestions about my wife at this point in time, is I mean, you've been great with the kids, but my wife's a whole other ballgame.
So spouses, you're right. Spouses can be a totally different ballgame. And it's probably a similar situation with your son where you're just going to want to keep the communication open with her. I mean, it doesn't sound like you two are speaking very much. Sometimes just talking and just being on the same page can make a really big difference. We don't have a whole lot of time today to go into that, but maybe over the next week or so, you could work on communication with your son and that weather app with your daughter. And then if you could try to be more open and willing with your wife to talk to her about those things, then you might find that things start easing up a little bit, especially with the list of contractors and getting someone out there to help fix your house. I think that might help.
Very good.
All right.
Very good. Awesome.
Well, if you don't have anything else for today, that's all I have. Do you have any other questions or concerns?
Not at this time. Just don't forget about those contractors.
I'll be sure to go get them for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.